Today, really excited to talk about preparing for the holidays, how to enjoy the holidays without breaking the bank. And we may even get into some conversation about how to enjoy the holidays with everything that's currently going on. And so, making sure that you're setting boundaries that work for you and your family. And maybe letting go of some of the expectations and things that other people may have of you. And I think that ties to your finances and also to, do you decide to try, like it can tie into a lot of different things. And so
So it ties into your emotional well being, your financial well being, your spiritual well being, and your physical well being, right? So all of those things are connected, especially during the season. I'm not sure, Patrice, if we can actually talk about the holidays without considering the fact that we're in the season and the time and we're dealing with some of the crisis that we're dealing with, right? For an example, when you listen to the media, whether it be TV or any other form, they're telling you that there's lack in everything. Like if you don't hurry up and buy toilet paper, if you don't hurry up and buy paper towels, and or if you don't hurry up and buy this gift that you're looking at for your child, then they're not going to get it. So buy it now. They've even started what they call fall into Christmas. You know why? Because they're trying to get your money and stuff in advance. And so this is the deal. We all have to establish what's right for us. That's the key for today. To establish in advance what is good for you as a person, what's good for your family, whatever family units that connect with, and then what you can say yes to in advance and what you have already determined to say no to.
And I think that this relates to being in a crisis, and not finding the toy that you want in no way relates. Like, that's not a major crisis. But I think preparing kids and teens and family to know, like, hey, I'm going to do my best. And if I place the order, because maybe my budget says I'm going to purchase gifts around November, December timeframe. I don't really have it in my budget right now to spend it in October. If your budget allows it, I would go on ahead and do it, because prices may go up, but my budget is going to be my budget. So if I allocate $20 per person or $25 per person, whatever I allocate, I'm going to find a gift within that range. And so I think making sure that you're staying true to your values, to your budget, and not trying to compare to what somebody else is doing. Because I know there are people that go into debt every Christmas and then spend all year getting out of debt and then go right back into debt. And so this podcast is called Legacy Moments, and it's about building that legacy now. I would much rather, so I have a 4-year old, and I could hide some of his toys
Trust me.
and just give him some boxes to unwrap, and maybe buy like a few things from Dollar Tree or Target, and he would be ecstatic, because this is probably one of the first Christmases that he's going to remember. Now, if you have older kids, I do think letting people know, like, hey, our budget is going to be a little bit tighter this Christmas. Here's going to be the price range when you're picking your gifts. If you're okay with something used or finding it on eBay, but I think being creative with things, and finally remembering that the holidays, it's really not about what people are getting. It's really about the spending time together and enjoying the true meaning of, like, of the
Holidays.
holidays.
And then the thing I would say is that what I have done in the past is I'm gonna call it a family meeting. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but I call it a family meeting where you bring people to the table and you say, "Hey, this is the overall family. What we're gonna do for the budget, like Patrice said, right? What our spending plan for the holidays, and it's based on these things. And this is how much has been allocated, or we're going to provide to every child, whatever, or even to a spouse or to whatever. So we have in our family, which I love, is 7 of us, number one, plus plus plus. So what we did is we got on a site and we put all our gifts, and everybody got
So we're gonna do Secret Santa.
yeah, it was cute. It
Eh,
was really cool. It was really good. And what happened is it took the pressure off of buying for everybody. And to be honest with you, sometimes in the past, we haven't bought gifts like that. I didn't send stuff out like that. I sent cards, I sent pictures, but I didn't send gifts. But this year, last year, we took it up to another level and did Secret Santa. And then we opened the gifts on Zoom. And we did that, and we laughed and we talked and we had a great time. So take the pressure off you. Redefine or reframe is what I'm going to say. Reframe what Christmas or the holidays is for you and your family. Now, going back to what I was saying earlier about is saying this is how much is allocated to you. The key with that is, let's say it's $200 or $100. Then give them the opportunity to spend that money, because especially if you're not dealing with young children, they normally know that you're the person giving the money. So give them that opportunity and say, hey, this is your allocation. What would you like to do with your allocation? And then if you want to give them an opportunity to create more money, then give them an opportunity to do something and get whether it be additional resources in the house, cut somebody's grass, rake their leaves. They get a chance to build. So this is an amazing training moment for them to help someone else while they help themselves get what they desire. So this is not about lack. This is about reframing what you're doing to your bottom line and starting this year, coming year, ending the year strong and starting the new year off strong.
And what that is that's having a growth mindset. This mindset where I say, okay, instead of looking at what I don't have, I look at what I do have. Instead of saying, this is what I can't do, I focus on what I can do. And I can still grieve because this isn't toxic positivity. This isn't saying that everything is great and, everything is going to be perfect. No, like, I think you have to grieve it. I have to grieve. So I'm likely not going, it's going to be another holiday season that I might not get to see some of my out of state family face to face. I haven't seen my dad, my siblings, my nieces and nephews. I haven't seen them in a few years now because of COVID, and just us. And I think every family decides what they can do. And for us, doing online meetings, that was more than enough. And we've actually kind of gotten closer
We have.
online because now, like, for my mom's side of the family, we do a monthly, no, we do a weekly. Every once a week we do a Zoom meet where we catch up. And I think being able to step back and say, this is what I can do, that helps your brain find solutions and problem solve. And I think it's good for kids to see that as well, that it's like, okay, things aren't always going to go the way you want. You're not always going to win. So I'm a therapist, and I work with kids and teens. And when we play a game, I win sometimes. Like, if I can, like, I win sometimes. And then depending on the kid, sometimes I do let a client win like a time or two. But I am also going to give you the experience of losing and enjoying the game, because I think it's really important that people know I'm not always going to be on top. And how do I manage it? How do I manage my emotions when I'm not winning, when I'm not getting everything I want?
Let me tell you one of the most amazing gifts that you can give to other people, in my opinion.
I was thinking
In
time.
my opinion, yes, that's what I said. I was. It's time. Time. That's the element that nobody gets back. When you give somebody your time, it is such a powerful thing. So, one of the things, especially if you have teenagers or middle schoolers or whatever, if you can make things or create something where they can give it to somebody else, I think that's amazing. So they're not just thinking about what they're getting, that they're thinking about what they're giving. And it could be something where you can still be safe, whether it be take it to a senior citizen's home or take it to someone that in the community,
Or even their
in their
friends.
friends, just have a good time with it. And so this is the key. If you're already thinking about, oh my gosh, this is not going to go well, shift your mindset right now because it can go well. It's about a decision, and you define how well it can go.
And I think it's redefining what well. So
Reframing.
it's not going to look how it looked 3 years ago. It's not. It's most likely not.
But if I could, in a way, that may be good. I mean, can we just talk about it? Can we just be real for a minute? It may be good that it don't look like it looked like 3 years ago. I mean, I'm not talking for everybody. I'm just talking to the general. If you spent 3 times what you should have spent 3 years ago, maybe it shouldn't look like that. Okay? Maybe if all it was is about giving to the people or buying gifts and handing it out and being overwhelmed by all of the holiday and all of that, maybe it shouldn't look like that. Another thing, and I'm going to let you jump back in. One of the things we did a few years ago. Well, Patrice helped me do it. She was kind of interesting once she found out what I did. She started going to her family to be with her dad for Thanksgiving. So I stopped cooking on Thanksgiving. And she was like, whoa, what just happened? What just happened?
Because that was probably 15 years ago or so. No, it was probably like 12.
Yeah, it ain't been up 15. I don't think it's been 15.
Maybe like, but she's cooked one Thanksgiving. And like I begged. I think I pleaded, Mama, please.
Can I tell you how much joy that brings me? Can I tell you the revelation that came from that? Can I tell you the cost savings that came from that? Can I tell you what happened with my life during that time? I found somewhere else to go. And I'm saying that and I'm laughing about it, and we're laughing about it. However, last year, let's talk about last year. Last year we couldn't be together. So this is what I did. At first, I was in denial about cooking. I said it on the family call. Somebody, I'm not pointing at no fingers at nobody, but it's Dr. somebody. Dr. Oh, it's okay. Dr. somebody. So anyway, but what she did is she pouted. I mean, she went into
Christmas.
It was Christmas. It was Christmas. I said, I'm not cooking. I said, there's no purpose. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this anymore. But I'm telling you, this person went to a 2-year-old. She was worse than Langston, her son. Anyway, so my point for saying that is this. Is sometimes you do things, you have to still do it because it brings you joy. When I saw her face, I recalibrated why I wasn't going to do it. And so I was doing it, I was saying I wasn't going to do it because I was actually grieving. I was grieving because I wanted to do it my way. I do a throwdown, snap up. I'm telling you, 3 or 4 meats. I mean, there's so much food in here. We can invite every neighbor in every block. You know what I'm saying? So, but that was the joy I got. So then I had to recalibrate and say, okay, why aren't you doing it? And then so I had to redefine the joy. So I ended up better than ever. Because I wasn't doing it for just one day, and when I say that I was, preparing for Christmas Day, I ended up starting cooking earlier. I had her food in containers by the time she left work on Friday. She swung by, got my, happy, joy, and got a chance to see all, everybody, just got to, and then packed them up. They had enough food for a while. But I still got the joy of doing it. So this is what I'm going to say. Look at what gives you joy during this season. Don't give up on that thing. You may have to scale it a little bit different. You may have to redo something. But remember what gives you joy. Because this year, I'm going to throw down again. I love to cook. And I'm telling you, I put me on some music and I had a ball. And so that's what you have to, what gives you joy? And then, of course, giving to them was amazing. And because I need to get rid of some of that food because I really still cooked a lot. I'm just saying.
But I like that you talked about finding what does give you joy and what can you do, even if it does look a little different, because we didn't all sit down together. No. Since we're vaccinated, we will likely sit down together for a meal this year, but it's not going to be everybody still. Right. Most likely. It all depends on when the vaccine for 4 and under.
Right.
But being able to step back and focus on what's really important and not trying to protect your kids from ever being sad, because they're going to be disappointed. They're not going to be happy. They might want to do something, or family might not be happy with you.
Hello. Oh, that's good.
If you're one that's deciding, like just the numbers in, if you're one where the numbers in this particular area, you're not comfortable with them and you decide not to travel, or if you decide to travel and maybe some family are looking at you like, I think let's respect one another's decisions,
Please.
where there's no judgment. Each person is going to make the decisions that work best for them and their family. I just encourage people to do it safely,
Mm-hmm.
where they maybe do some testing before they go, and maybe do some testing when they come back, just for protecting themselves,
And
the
others.
people that they're going to see.
Yeah.
Because I do think, I wish that was stronger in the midst of this pandemic. I was really hoping that we would see that we're not, it's not about us, and that it really is, if I can do something that 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 helps my mom. So that was one of the hardest things. You all see us together, you all see our relationship. Well, when things shut down in March, we did not see each other face to face until,
Wow.
I think it was like October, November.
October, November. And for us, I mean, let's talk about for me. For me, it was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Because not only did I didn't get a chance to see her, I didn't get a chance to see my grand, I didn't get a chance to see anybody. However, I said, I'm doing this to ensure I can see them forever. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's not because I have prior situations or anything like that. I'm very healthy, but that wasn't the point. It was for everybody. But let me say this: we started doubling up on stuff we were doing. Can I tell you? I mean, we were doing this stuff, and I got a chance to see my grand. He would be on the
Zoom.
Zoom and stuff. So you have to step it up, and it's like Patrice said earlier. It's okay to grieve. However, don't stay there. Find out what works for you and move forward, because it's about you being in control of your next step in respect. Because this is the deal. We even have some stuff that's going on next year. And out of respect, there are some shifts and changes that need to happen. And so we are being more conscious because we don't want to exclude anybody. So this is the deal. As you move forward, keep people first. Can I just tell? I mean, the most important thing is time. And when we lose someone, whether it be their health or whatever, or them naturally, that is a huge loss to us as a person, as a community. And then the other thing is, people are what, at least for me, and I hope for you, people are what matters. And so I will do whatever it takes. Like when I went to Mexico, I made my choice. I went to Mexico. I had an amazing time in Mexico. We haven't talked about that, but I had an amazing time in Mexico. However, when I came back, I went on, what you call it?
Quarantine.
Self quarantine. I had to get a test before I got back on the plane. So I knew I was okay, right? I knew I was okay. However, I had self quarantine. And then after that, I ended up getting a test again like 4 days later, just to make sure, because I had to get on a plane with people. So there was something in between there that I had to work out. So, and it's just for the safety of others, because the last thing you want to do for somebody you love is say, oops, I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's not good. So anyway, go ahead.
And I also want to make a special note for people that are going to be grieving this
Oh
holiday,
yeah.
because a lot of us have lost people during this time. So be kind to yourself. There is no time limit on grief.
Thank you. Say that again, please.
There is no time limit on grief.
Now, can I say it one more time? There is absolutely no time limit on grief. You do not get a chance to tell me how to grieve, how long to grieve, or what it means to me to grieve. You don't get a chance to because of somebody else's discomfort to move me forward to make you comfortable. That is, listen to me, that is not healthy for you or others.
And I like that you mentioned that, because often when somebody is trying to rush you through your process, it's really about their emotion. It's not really in your best interest. Now, if you're not showering, you're not eating, you are having clinical depression, because grief can sometimes morph into more. So that is when you check in with your medical professionals, you check in with a therapist. That is different than me just crying every now and then, me just struggling to go back to the same places that bring back memories with that person. I growing up, I didn't really understand grief this way until I ended up having a loss within my own family. That, once again, I'm sure I've mentioned it here before, I will grieve forever. And nobody gets to tell me how to grieve, or and for me, grief is about love.
Mm-hmm.
It is about the love that I have for the individuals that I'm no longer physically connected with, and that I continue to experience them. And so this is my own belief. You don't have to believe this, but that I continue to have moments where I'm reminded of them, and I experience them. And then there are also times when that memory brings a little bit of sadness, and but that sadness is my love for them. That is that emotion for them. And so anybody, especially the first year, I don't know that we always warn people. The first year is
The
all of the
hardest.
first, and
Oh
it's
my gosh.
typically the absolute hardest if you are actually going through. And it is best to feel those feelings safely than to hold them back, and then 5-10 years later, all of a sudden, all of that grief just kind of comes out. And people are really confused when that happens, because they're like, wait a minute, wasn't you seemed okay for these last 5 years, and now you're not? Like I feel like sometimes people are a little bit more understanding when it's within that. So just grieve at your own pace. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, the thing about this, and people may say, well, why did we get to grief in the middle of this? The holiday. It's about the holiday. The holiday when everybody else is jumping up and down and everybody's happy. Sometimes it triggers us in such a way that it brings up feelings. And feelings are not good or bad. I've been trained. Feelings are not good or bad. Feelings are feelings. Emotions are emotions. So that's the reason we're dealing with it. Because in the middle of all of that, some people may be triggered, and it may trigger you to go out and spend money.
Yes.
Hello,
Emotion.
hello. Go ahead.
Me and Amazon. So like if I'm sad, I can't meet, because I will me if I'm sad, if I'm afraid, ooh, Amazon for any emotion.
Happy, got money, whatever, Amazon. However, this is the thing. I have a take back anointing. So anyway, but on a serious, I do have a take back thing that I do. I
She'll
will
return.
return anything, especially if it doesn't work. I mean, if it doesn't work for me or it doesn't come out like I want. But this is the deal I'll tell you, is that exercise can also give you that feeling,
Yeah.
or give you that, is it endorphin?
You're just
Or
not gonna want to. And so that's what, because it's a lot easier to go on Amazon than to go
it
to the
is
gym. But the gym is probably it's not gonna cost
healthier.
you. It's, yeah. And even if you just go for a walk, so it doesn't have to be like, I could just go for a walk around my neighborhood, connecting with people physically. So I when I'm able to connect with family, connect with friends, I might not feel like doing it, because sometimes when you're in some of those lower moments, when I am just kind of feeling like isolating, sometimes doing that isolation just makes you feel worse.
Right.
And so sometimes it's called opposite action within dialectical behavior therapy. It's a skill where you do, because you don't wait until you feel like it, because you will 99% of people will never feel like going to the gym. And those other people, like, those are no problem. Like, okay, you woke up and you wanted, I will never want to go to the gym.
I
But
do want the results, but I do not want to go.
and for me, the results are that I'm physically more in shape, so I can chase after a very active 4-year-old, and so being able to watch for emotional eating, watch for substance use and abuse during this time, because so my rule for drinking is, if I'm not okay, I don't drink. That is, if I don't drink when I'm stressed. I have
Amazon
to.
is better.
No,
No,
no.
I mean, okay.
I have to
She can
work.
cut that out.
I have to work on my, but I think being able to just know what are your go-to comforts, and trying to choose one that's a little healthier, and if you do indulge in one that's like, ooh, something magic shows up to your house, in 1 to 5 days, then you can always step back. Okay, did I really need this? And if you keep it, and if you don't, no problem. But just being able to give yourself grace, to not, because the worst thing, because I know people that will order the thing and then hide it and
Oh
like
yeah,
feel
that's
bad about it,
yeah.
and
Don't.
then like and be shaming themselves. It's like, wait a minute, you did it, you made a choice,
And you gotta pay for it.
you're gonna pay for it.
Hello?
And so I don't think there's any reason to feel bad about
Now, this is the other thing about that too. What I want to say is sometimes putting it in the cart. Put it in the cart and then
Yes.
wait a few days.
And-
The excitement of putting it in the cart.
And I do wish list.
Oh, that's amazing.
I
And
love doing
wish list is a great thing. If you have grandparents or whatever, there's somebody next to me that sends. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to just front her like that. But she sends. I'm in the house. I can talk as loud as I want to. I'm in my house. What the world? I'm not in your office. Anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a moment. That was a moment.
Keeping all of it in the podcast. Authentic conversations.
I need more grace.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so what
I do lists.
I'm serious. This is a great tip. To do a list, and she sends it to us. She puts it out there and she tells us this is what he wants. These are the things that have been identified. And then as they magically disappear off this list that she created, we ain't gonna tell you how many things are on the list, the price points on the list.
I do.
There are some people that see the list. We have to all be careful, because if the one person sees the list, magically everything is off the list. I'm not gonna talk about the person, because I think it's a great thing. I mean, that they do that. They're so sweet to do that. However, what I'm saying is this: is sometimes give people a chance to help you. Is do the list. Remember, I talked about the allocation. So if they have, I'm sure most people have grandparents, whatever. Do the list and send it to them, and let the kids do the list. So do Secret Santa.
So whatever. I buy very few things for our son for Christmas.
But she don't need to,
because he has aunts and uncles and grandparents, and so he has all of these other things. And season 2, so this is our last episode of season 1. Season 2, we are going to have to dive into blended families. Oh, yes, we are going to have to do that,
because for the holidays, we need to touch it just a second. Okay, go ahead. Can we touch blended families for just holiday? I mean, just for a minute. This is the deal. You got a blended family. You know the deal. Be careful about, or be considerate. Let me not say careful. Be considerate about all the things you may be doing for the people that are in your home and the people that may be outside of your home. So just be careful and thoughtful regarding that, because it's about a child, or it's about another fan. It just be thoughtful and careful with that, and yeah, it's just a deep subject.
And so next holiday season, we'll hopefully be able to dive deeper into it.
We need to dive. I mean, like, what?
And so, and we might do this conversation over on Clubhouse. So make sure to follow us. No, not this Saturday.
Oh,
nope.
Okay.
Make sure to follow us on on Clubhouse. So I did want to say about the wish list. The reason why I do it is because I will return gifts. Bef- I will, okay? Like I'm Dr. Barry and I return gifts
And her
because
mother is a return professional, so she got it well. Mm-hmm.
because our son is a little picky. And now I will show it to him. I know he's extremely picky. And so if he doesn't like it, and like he
It
likes what he
doesn't have wheels.
likes, so I'm gonna I'm gonna return it.
And when you,
But it doesn't bother me if I give you something. I'm giving you a gift receipt because hey, if you don't like it,
I don't want
please
you to keep
return
it.
it.
Please
Like
return
it
it.
does not hurt my feelings at all.
And then the other thing though is because you care about the person, you want to give them the option to get you something that you really need. Excuse me, when we did the Secret Santa last year, we ended up with people putting out special things that for self-care, which I thought was really cool. So give them the thing that they desire. The platinum rule is better than the golden rule. The golden rule is, I'm gonna say golden, you say platinum. Okay, so even though I have platinum glasses, but anyway, we're not gonna go like that. Anyway, so the golden rule is treat other people the way you desire to be treated. However, I've been taught that the platinum rule,
Is treat other people the way that they want to be treated.
and that's the key. That's the key to the holiday, is to treat other people the way they desire to be treated. So if they invite you in and they have a big function and you want to go, okay, if that's, I mean, just know what you're doing, right? And then if you decide not to go, it's okay. If you have always had big functions and people saying, where's the big function? We want to all come to your house, and that's not where your comfort level is, tell them, let them know, because it's important that your boundary during the season and all seasons is within whatever you desire, because typically um not only do other people matter, remember that you matter, that you have a voice.
That is so powerful because often people, especially people that are recovering people pleasers or,
Yeah.
often you will put everybody else first and do everything for everybody else. And then you are empty, literally negative, in your bank account. And really setting boundaries, when you start to set boundaries, people aren't going to be happy. The people, healthy people, are going to be okay with it because once again, I think I said this the other day, if somebody asks you something, one of the possible answers should be no.
No.
Because if I say, hey, are you doing this? One of the possible answers should be no. And if I'm upset by that, that is my job to work on my emotions about you not doing that. But you as a person have every right to set a boundary. And so being able to do that is so important. I am so happy that we are closing out season one. It has been a pleasure. Really, I thank TikTok and all of um, our followers over there. If you're not already following at Momma Johnnie Lloyd, please check her out over on TikTok. We will still be on Clubhouse on Sundays. I am recording my Saturday, Sunday. See, today I forgot my son's lunchbox. Okay,
Yeah.
let's tell you.
But check this out, because she is a problem solver, that's the deal. Look at this whole holiday thing. If you're looking at it, and even if you think it's a problem, solve it for you at the level. So what she did is she went out. Now he may be introduced to a new snack that he's never had before, that he may be in love with now, because he didn't have lunch. So he may have this opportunity to excel and be like, this is the way I want the
He's
sandwich from now on.
he's never had crustables, and so we live 40 minutes away, and I was not gonna drive 40 minutes home and 40 minutes back to because his lunch is it's sitting on the kitchen counter most likely, or it's in his book bag directly by the door, but it didn't make it to school. And so I went and I picked up what he needed and dropped it off. And
He may be extremely happy today. You know what he said? Yesterday he told me, he said, new food. He said, Gigi, that's me. He said, I need to do new foods. Me and him having a deep conversation. I don't know who this child is. Anyway, he said, I need to do new foods. I said, do you like? And I started listing some things. Do you like that? He said, no. I mentioned one thing and he said, oh, no, not that. But my point for saying that is this, is that when you create your space and you find out that you're in the middle of making a decision, cause the decision to be something you can live with. Cause the decision to be something you can live with. And then when people don't respect your decision as parents, because see, I love this. This is, I love her, right? But in addition to that, I respect her. I don't always agree with her. Can I just say that? Can I look close and say that? I don't always agree with her. But I am not his parents. It's her and her husband.
that is a whole word. That's going to be a whole class. Grandparents, if
You
y'all
need to be
if the
trained. Do
parents
we
are-
need to talk about training session here?
No, we can't do it right
Oh,
now.
okay,
we
that's right.
need to wrap it up.
That's right. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Across my legs. Oh, I'm sorry. I can just have coffee.
So, what did you get from this season? How was it for you co-hosting a whole
Wow.
podcast?
Okay.
23 episodes.
Number one, I can't believe. Honestly, this was on my to-do list a year ago. I took it off my to-do list. You know how you have something and you said, well, that ain't happening. So I just put it to the side. I didn't delete it. I just put it to the side. So when she brought it up, I thought, oh my gosh, what a great opportunity. Number one. Number two is I get a chance to be to one of the most special people in my life.
So, how this whole podcast came to be was that I had been a guest on multiple other podcasts because of the platform on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I realized that it's not easy, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. And so being able to just step back, and there wasn't anyone that I could want to. So bringing on guests is a whole bunch of work. And I was like, I don't want it to be a bunch of work.
Now that's the whole truth and nothing but the truth. That is DNA truth. You hear me? Okay, go ahead.
And so it's like so this is us.
Conversation.
These are the types of conversations I call her on my way home after work every Monday through Friday, and we just talk. And so we're just pressing record and giving you all an opportunity to listen in.
Be an hour.
And we really appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure to check us out on TikTok, Clubhouse, Instagram,
Wisdom.
now on Wisdom, and that's a whole other conversation. But that is where we can kind of dig in a little deeper. And so make sure to check us out, and we hope you enjoy the holidays and the rest of your day.